The scent of decay and resignation is the first thing that greets me every evening. It clings to the rough spun blankets and settles deep in the wooden walls of the infirmary, a permanent ghost in the longhouse reserved for the pack's elderly and infirm. Most wolves here are waiting for the forest to claim them, their inner beasts having already fallen silent. I am an expert in the scent of endings. My own wolf is a ghost, a faint whisper in the back of my mind, so quiet I sometimes wonder if she is there at all. This is my curse, the reason I am an outcast in my own pack. I am Alara, an omega with a broken beast, and this is my domain. My duties are simple. I change linens, spoon broth into mouths that can no longer chew, and I listen. I listen to rambling stories of hunts long past and mates gone to ground. But my final duty of the day is for Elder Maeve's brother, a wolf so old his name is forgotten by all but her. He lies still as a stone in the corner bed, his breath a shallow rasp. He has not spoken or opened his eyes in seasons. The pack healers say he is already gone, his body just a stubborn shell. But I feel something from him, a flicker of a mind trapped deep inside. So, I sing to him. The songs are ancient, ones my mother taught me in hushed tones before she passed, melodies that speak of moon cycles and the earth's heartbeat. They are not the boisterous hunting chants of the pack warriors. They are quiet, full of sorrow and a strange, deep power that I do not understand. As I sing, a peculiar warmth spreads through my chest, and the elder's breathing seems to deepen, to even out. For that 1 hour, the scent of decay in his small corner recedes, replaced by something clean and old, like petrichor and ancient stone. Tonight, a nervous energy thrums through the entire Blackwood pack. It is a tangible thing, a vibration in the earth that even my muted senses can feel. Alpha King Kyle returns. He has been gone for 2 years, consolidating power among the outer territories, forging alliances. His name is spoken with reverence and fear. He is said to be the strongest alpha in a century, his wolf a terrifying extension of his will. I have never seen him. My low status keeps me far from the central pack gatherings. Omegas are for service, not for ceremony. I finish my song for the elder, my voice a low hum in the quiet room. His hand, gnarled and thin, twitches. It is the most movement I have seen from him in a year. A small, impossible surge of hope warms me. Maybe my songs are doing something. Maybe they are a balm to his trapped spirit. I place a fresh cup of water by his bedside and slip out of the infirmary, melting back into the shadows where I belong. The main clearing is ablaze with bonfires, the heart of the pack pounding with anticipation. I should return to my small, isolated cot at the edge of the settlement, but a foolish, reckless curiosity pulls me toward the light. I stay in the deep shadows of the trees, a ghost, watching her own kind celebrate. Then he arrives. The air splits open with his presence. It is not just a scent, it is a force of nature, pine and winter frost and sheer, unadulterated dominance. Alpha King Kyle moves through the crowd, and it is like watching a god descend. He is tall, broader than any wolf I have ever seen, with dark hair that falls over a brow set with the heavy weight of command. His power is a physical pressure, making the air thick and hard to breathe. My weak wolf, usually a dormant thing, stirs. She lifts her head from a long slumber, a flicker of interest I have not felt in years. His gaze sweeps the crowd, acknowledging his warriors, his council, his people. Then, for a reason I will never understand, his eyes snag on the shadows where I hide. They lock with mine. The world stops. The roar of the celebration, the crackle of the fires, the very beat of my own heart, it all goes silent. In that silence, a new scent floods my senses, cutting through the pine and frost. It is the scent of lightning striking dry earth, of wild honey and burning embers. It is a scent made just for me. My soul recognizes it instantly. Mate. The word is not a thought. It is a brand seared onto my heart. My legs tremble. This cannot be. An Omega, a broken wolf, mated to the Alpha King. It is a cruel joke by the moon goddess. Hope, a feeling I had long since buried, unfurls its fragile wings in my chest. For a single, breathtaking moment, I see a reflection of my own shock in his steel-gray eyes. He takes a half step toward me, his attention so absolute that the entire pack turns, following his gaze, their eyes finding me in the darkness. The pressure of their collective stare is a physical weight. I am exposed. I see the conflict warring on his face, the primal recognition, the pull of the bond. But then his eyes flicker to his council of elders, their faces hard and disapproving. I see the calculation replace the shock. I see the weight of his duty, of his crown, settle back onto his shoulders. The hope in my chest withers. His face shudders, becoming a mask of cold authority. He raises his voice, and it rings with a power that makes the ground tremble. It is not the voice of a man finding his other half. It is the voice of a king passing sentence. "Who is that?" he demands, his gaze still locked on me, though now it feels like an accusation. An elder, Lyra, steps forward, her lip curled in disdain. She is no one, my Alpha, an Omega, Ilara. Her wolf is stunted. She is practically wolfless. Wolfless. The word is a blade. It slices through the fragile hope and finds the deepest, most tender part of my insecurity. Kyle looks at me, and his eyes are now chips of ice. The warmth of the bond is gone, replaced by a devastating Arctic cold. He is assessing me not as a mate, but as a weakness, a flaw in his bloodline. The Blackwood pack requires strength, he says, his voice a low growl that carries to every corner of the clearing. He is speaking to the whole pack now, but his words are aimed at me, each one a perfectly weighted stone meant to crush me. Our Luna must be a bastion of power, a mother to warriors. She must be a wolf who can stand beside the Alpha King, not cower in the shadows. A wave of shame so hot it feels like fire washes over me. He is not just rejecting me, he is humiliating me. He is using me as an example. This is what is not worthy. My wolf, who had so briefly awakened, whimpers and retreats, crawling back into the dark, silent corner of my soul. The bond between us, that beautiful, vibrant thread of light, begins to fray. I can feel it physically, a tearing sensation in the center of my chest. He takes a deep, deliberate breath, and then he delivers the final, killing low. His voice is devoid of all emotion. I, Alpha King Kale of the Blackwood Pack, reject this bond. I reject the Omega Ilara as my mate and my Luna. She is unfit. She is nothing. Nothing. The word echoes in the sudden, ringing silence. The tearing in my chest becomes a violent snap. Pain, white-hot and absolute, explodes behind my eyes. It is not just emotional. It is physical. It feels as if my very soul has been ripped in two. A strangled gasp escapes my lips, and I stagger back, my hand flying to my chest to try and hold myself together. The scent of lightning and honey turns acrid, like something beautiful has been set on fire and left to burn. The pack is silent, watching me. I see pity on some faces, but on most, I see contempt. I am the thing the Alpha King has thrown away. I am less than nothing. The shame is a shroud, suffocating me. I cannot breathe. I cannot think. I can only feel the gaping, bleeding wound where the bond used to be. Kale turns his back on me then, a final, brutal dismissal. He does not see me crumble. He does not see the tears that finally break free, scalding tracks on my cold skin. His council members look smug. He has made the right choice for the pack. He has chosen duty over the foolish whims of the goddess. But the pain is not the end of it. His voice cuts through the air one last time, cold and final. This weakness cannot be allowed to fester within the heart of our territory. She has served her purpose with the elderly. That purpose is now concluded. Banish her. Send her to the blighted lands. If she is strong enough, she will survive. If not, she will be culled. A collective gasp ripples through the crowd. The blighted lands. It is a death sentence. It is a barren, rocky wasteland at the edge of our territory, where the soil is poison and monstrous. Twisted creatures hunt in the shadows. No one is sent there to survive. They are sent there to die. Two of his guards, his betas, step forward. Their faces are grim, but they will obey their alpha without question. I do not run. Where would I go? My legs will not hold me anyway. I sink to my knees in the dirt and shadows, the world dissolving into a blur of firelight and agonizing pain. The last thing I smell before they drag me away is the scent of pine and frost, now tainted with the bitter odor of my own despair. I am being erased. I am being unmade. And the one who was meant to be my other half, my protector, is the one holding the knife. The journey to the blighted lands is a haze of misery. The guards do not speak to me. They handle me like a sack of unwanted grain, their touch impersonal and efficient. The further we travel from the pack's heartwood, the weaker I become. The ambient warmth of the pack bond, a thing I had always taken for granted, recedes. It is like walking out of a warm home into a blizzard. The cold is not just in the air, it seeps into my bones. The wound in my chest where Kal severed our connection is a raw, open sore, aching with every beat of my heart. They leave me at the border, a line marked by petrified, leafless trees. Beyond them, the ground is gray and cracked, and the very air tastes of ash. The Alpha's command is fulfilled, one of them says, his voice rough with something that might be pity but is probably just duty. Then they turn and leave, their strong, sure strides carrying them back to the life I have lost. I am alone, utterly, completely alone. The first few weeks are a blur of pure survival. The cold is relentless. I find a shallow cave carved into a rock face, barely deep enough to offer shelter from the biting winds. Finding food is a daily torment. The plants are twisted and bitter. The water in the sluggish streams is bracky and makes me sick. I hunt scrawny, dust-colored rabbits, my movements clumsy, without the full strength of a wolf to aid me. Every part of me hurts. My body aches from hunger and cold, and my soul aches from the phantom limb of the broken bond. Some nights, the pain is so immense I curl into a ball on the stone floor of my cave and weep until I have no tears left. My throat raw from silent screams. My wolf, the quiet ghost, is no help. She is a core of misery within me, her whimpers a constant echo in my mind. Broken, alone, rejected. She offers no strength, only shared despair. There are moments, huddled in the freezing dark, when the thought of giving up is a sweet temptation. I could walk out into the open, lie down, and let the cold or one of the land's predators take me. It would be an end to the pain. It would be peace. One night, as I lie shivering, on the very edge of letting go, something shifts. A memory surfaces, unbidden. The face of the silent elder in the infirmary, the way his breathing would deepen when I sang. I remember the warmth that would fill my own chest, a feeling so different from the gnawing emptiness that now consumes me. I start to hum, my voice a cracked and broken thing. It is one of the old songs, a melody about the resilience of the single blade of grass that pushes its way through a stone. As I hum, a strange resonance begins deep inside me. It is not my wolf, it is something else. A low, steady vibration, like a deep string on a harp being plucked. The agonizing ache in my chest eases, just a fraction. The cold seems to recede from the edges of my small cave. My own voice, weak as it is, sounds impossibly loud in the dead silence of the blighted lands. I push through the pain in my throat and let the words come, whispering them into the darkness. I sing of roots finding purchase in barren soil. I sing of water trickling through stone. I sing of the moon that shines on all, the worthy and the unworthy alike. The vibration in my core grows stronger, warmer. My wolf stirs, not with misery, but with curiosity. "What is this?" she whispers, her voice clearer than I have heard it in years. The song is not just a sound, it is a force. It pushes back against the despair, creating a small, fragile pocket of warmth and life in the dead land. In that moment, huddled in the dark, I make a choice. I will not be culled. I will not lie down and die. I will survive. A year passes. The blighted lands are still a harsh, unforgiving place, but they are no longer my tomb. They are my territory. My body is lean and hard, scarred from hunts and falls, but strong. My senses, once muted, are now razor sharp, honed by the constant need for vigilance. But the greatest change is not physical. It is the power that now hums in my blood. I have learned to wield my songs. I discovered that the ancient melodies my mother taught me were more than lullabies. They are lore. They are a form of old magic I have come to call lore singing. I can sing to the cracked earth and coax hardy, edible herbs to grow. I can sing to a poisoned stream and watch the water begin to clear. I can sing a song of warding around my cave, and the skulking, misshapen creatures of the night will shy away from its perimeter, confused and fearful. My voice is my weapon, my shield, and my tool. The weakness that got me cast out was my greatest, most misunderstood strength. My wolf is no longer a whimpering ghost. She is awake. She is not a creature of brute force and rage like a warrior's wolf. She is one of wisdom, of deep connection to the earth and the lore. She cannot grant me a full physical shift. That part of me does seem to be broken, but her senses are intertwined with my own, and she is the source of the resonance I feel when I sing. We are not a mighty alpha or a strong beta. We are something else entirely. We are whole. I am not alone anymore. Others have found their way to my small sanctuary. A young male named Finn, cast out for a limp that made him unable to join the hunt patrols. An old she-wolf, Mara, whose mate had died, leaving her without status. A pair of twins, branded as rogues after their parents challenged the old alpha and lost. We are a pack of the broken, the discarded, the forgotten. They are drawn to the safety of my wards and the surprising life blooming in my small valley. They do not see me as a wolfless omega. They see a leader. They call me their singer. Among them is a man named Liam. He was a healer in a neighboring pack, exiled after he was wrongly accused of poisoning a rival. He found his way here a few months ago, half dead and delirious. I sang a song of mending over him, my voice knitting together the fever that was trying to claim him. He has kind eyes and a gentle strength. He respects my power without fearing it. He looks at me with a quiet admiration that is a soothing balm on the old scars of my heart. He brings me rare flowers that he coaxes from the soil, and he listens when the memories of my rejection surface in the dark of night. He does not try to fix me. He simply sits with me in the pain. His scent is calm and grounding, like cool moss and damp earth. It is a scent of peace. The ache of the broken bond with Kale has faded from a constant agony to a dull, persistent throb. It is a part of me now, a phantom pain that reminds me of what I lost, but also what I have survived. I have built a life, a pack, a home, from the ashes of the one he took from me. I am no longer the girl who cowered in the shadows. I am the alpha of this strange, small pack. I am the singer of the blighted lands, and I do not need anyone's approval to know my own worth. One evening, Finn returns from a scouting mission along the border, his face pale with alarm. "Singer," he says, his voice urgent. "There are wolves in the gray hills. Warriors. They carry the scent of the Blackwood pack." My heart stutters. Blackwood. Kale. The dull throb in my chest flares into a sharp pang. "And something else," Finn continues, his eyes wide with fear. "They are being hunted by shadows, things with no scent, that move like smoke. My name is Kyle, and I am the Alpha King. My title is a crown of iron, my power a cloak of stone. For the last year I have been a king of ghosts. I rule a pack that is strong in name only, a kingdom rotten from the inside out, and it is my fault. It all comes back to a single moment, a single choice made from pride and fear. It all comes back to her. Ilara, her name is a shard of glass in my throat. I have tried to forget her. I have ordered my mind to erase the memory of her wide, terrified eyes, of the scent of lightning and honey that promised a heaven I was too much of a coward to claim. But my wolf will not let me forget. My beast, the source of my alpha power, has turned on me. He is my tormentor, my jailer. Every night is the same. I lie in my cold, empty bed, and he howls for her in the cage of my mind. Mate, ours. We threw her away. We are broken. He claws at my insides, a relentless, furious grief that denies me sleep. I have not known a full night's rest since the day I banished her. My strength is a facade. I am hollowed out, a king ruling over a throne of regret. The bond I so arrogantly severed has left a wound, not on my chest but in my very soul. It is a vacuum pulling all the light and warmth out of me. I am constantly cold. The scent of other she-wolves is repulsive to me now. It is like ashes in my mouth. My counsel pushes me to choose a new mate, a strong beta, or the daughter of an allied alpha, to secure the pack's future. They do not understand. There can be no other. My wolf would sooner tear out my throat than accept anyone but her. The moon goddess gave me a gift, and I spat on it. Now, I am paying the price. My wolf ensures it. Justice, he growls when the pain is at its worst. This is justice, and my pack suffers for my sin. The pack bond, the collective spirit that ties us all together, is frayed. It should be anchored by an alpha and a luna, a complete circuit of power. With me broken and my luna cast out, the bond is weak, brittle. Sickness takes root more easily. Tempers are shorter. Fights break out over minor slights. The very air in our territory feels listless, heavy. I am a king presiding over a slow decay. Now, there is a new threat. Creatures of nightmare. Things my scouts are calling the Veiled Ones. They are shadows, things of hunger and discord that slip through our patrols and drain the life from lone wolves. They are drawn to the weakness in our pack bond like predators to a bleeding wound. They are a physical manifestation of my failure. We fight them, but it is like punching smoke. They fade away from our claws and teeth, only to reform and strike again. Our strength is useless against them. My most trusted warrior, Ronan, came to me this morning, his face grim. Alpha, he said, his voice low. The scouts from the eastern border report something strange. In the Blighted Lands, there is a sanctuary there, a small valley where things grow. They say a pack of outcasts lives there, led by a woman they call the Singer. I listened, my disinterest plain. The Blighted Lands were a graveyard, not a sanctuary. They say she has a power, Alpha, a magic. She sings, and the Veiled Ones cannot cross into her territory. She creates walls of light with her voice. A flicker of something, not hope, but desperate curiosity, stirs within me. A power that can repel the Veiled Ones. It is impossible, but we are desperate. This Singer, Ronan continued, his brow furrowed. The rogues she leads, they say she was once one of us, an Omega from Blackwood cast out a year ago. The world narrows to a single, sharp point. The air leaves my lungs. Cast out a year ago, there is only one. It cannot be. She was weak, wolfless, a danger to my bloodline. That is what I told myself. That is the lie I used to justify my cruelty. My wolf, silent and sullen for days, rears up inside me, a tidal wave of violent, desperate hope. Mate, alive? He screams the words in my head, his power surging for the first time in months, so potent it makes my knees weak. I do not allow myself to believe it. It is a ghost, a false hope. But I have no other choice. My pack is dying. I am dying. If there is even a sliver of a chance that a power exists to fight this darkness, I must seek it out. If that power belongs to a ghost from my past, then so be it. Gather my guard, I command Ronan, my voice rougher than usual. We ride for the Blighted Lands at once. I will see this Singer for myself. The thought of facing her, of seeing what has become of the woman I condemned to death, fills me with a terror far greater than any shadow creature. But the hope of my wolf, the desperate, howling chance that she is alive, is even stronger. The journey into the Blighted Lands is like stepping into my own soul, cold, barren, and haunted by regret. The air is thin and tastes of ash. My warriors are on edge, their wolves uneasy in this dead place. But as we push deeper, following the scout's directions, a change occurs, a faint scent on the wind, underneath the dust and decay. It is the smell of blooming night jasmine and clean running water. It is the scent of life. We crest a gray, rocky hill, and the sight below steals my breath. In a small, sheltered valley, the ground is not gray, but green. A stream sparkles in the pale light, and small, well-tended huts are clustered near a grove of trees that are somehow lush and healthy. A barrier of shimmering, pale gold light, almost invisible, seems to hum around the valley's edge. It is a sanctuary, an impossible oasis in the middle of hell. My wolf is frantic, pulling me forward. She is here. Mate. I smell her. The scent is stronger now, not just jasmine, but something more. Wild herbs, ozone after a storm, and a power so potent it feels like raw magic. It is her scent, but amplified, deepened. It is the scent of a woman who has come into her own power. We move down the slope, and the people of the valley emerge from their huts. They are a motley group, scarred and wary, but they do not look broken. They look strong. They form a defensive line, and at their head, a woman steps forward. The world stops turning. It is her, Ilara. But it is not the timid, frightened Omega I cast away. This woman is transformed. Her simple clothes are worn but practical, and she carries herself with an unshakable stillness, the quiet authority of a true alpha. Her hair, once a simple braid, is now woven with small, polished stones and feathers. Her face is leaner, her eyes harder, but they hold a wisdom and a depth that were not there before. She is beautiful. She is terrifying. Our eyes lock, just as they did a year ago across a crowded clearing. This time, there is no shock or hope in her gaze, only ice, a cold, measuring calm that cuts me deeper than any blade. The broken bond between us, the dead and aching thing in my chest, explodes into agonizing life. It is a phantom limb, screaming with a pain so real, so intense, I physically stagger. The scent of her, pure and powerful, floods my senses, and my wolf howls in a mixture of ecstasy and agony. Mate! She is here, whole. I see a flicker of pain in her eyes, a momentary tightening of her jaw. She feels it too, the violent reawakening of what I destroyed, but she masters it in an instant, her face becoming a mask of cold neutrality. She is in control. I am the one undone. Alpha King Call, she says, and her voice is not the soft, hesitant thing I remember. It is clear and steady, laced with a power that resonates in the very air. It makes the hairs on my arms stand up. You are a long way from your Heartwood. The Blackwood Pack has no authority here. This is my territory. State your purpose. Her words are a slap. My territory. She has claimed this land, this pack. She is an alpha in her own right. My own alpha authority, the power that makes warriors bow and enemies tremble, feels like nothing here. It washes over her and dissipates against the shield of her will. I am accustomed to being the strongest wolf in any room, the center of gravity. Here, before her, I am a petitioner. I am the one off balance. We are hunting the veiled ones, I managed to say, my throat tight. Our scouts reported a power that could repel them. They said it belonged to a singer. I am the singer, she confirms, her gaze unwavering. And my protection is for my people, not for the king who cast me out to die. Each word is a perfectly aimed dart, dipped in the poison of my own past actions. She does not shout. She does not weep. She simply states the truth, and the truth is my condemnation. My wolf whimpers, a pathetic sound for such a powerful beast. She hates us. We deserve it. We are dying, I say, the confession torn from me. It is the most vulnerable I have been in front of anyone, let alone my warriors. My pack is weak. The creatures are preying on us. I came to ask for your help. A bitter, humorless smile touches her lips for a fleeting second. You ask for help now? From the wolfless Omega, who was unfit and nothing? She throws my own words back at me, and they hit with the force of a physical blow. I have no defense against them. I have no defense against her. I was wrong, I whisper. The admission is inadequate, a pebble tossed into a canyon of my own making. But it is all I have. Her cold expression does not thaw. Your mistakes are not my concern, she says, her voice like chips of ice. My concern is the safety of my pack. You and your warriors bring the scent of battle and the attention of the very creatures I seek to avoid. You are a danger to us. Leave. She turns her back on me. The same gesture of dismissal I gave her a year ago. The symmetry of it is brutal, perfect. It is a justice so pure it burns. My wolf roars in protest, a desperate, silent scream. No, don't let her. Make her stay. But I am frozen, paralyzed by the sheer force of her rejection. She is in command here. Her power, her coldness, her righteous anger. It is a fortress I have no idea how to breach. I, the Alpha King, have been dismissed. And as she walks away, the agony of the bond flaring between our retreating backs, I know this coldness is a punishment far worse than the sleepless nights and the constant ache. It is the pain of seeing what I could have had, what I destroyed, standing before me as a queen in her own right, wanting nothing to do with me. Just as my warriors begin to shift, ready to retreat at my unspoken command, a screech splits the air. It is a sound that does not belong to the natural world, a high-pitched wail that scrapes at the mind. From over the gray hills, a wave of darkness pours into the valley, not a shadow cast by the sun, but a tide of living shadow. The veiled ones, dozens of them, more than we have ever seen in one place, their forms shifting and coalescing like smoke in a windstorm. They are not attacking randomly. They are focused. They are coming for us, for me. I carry the scent of the Alpha King, the scent of the fractured bond they are drawn to, and I have led them straight to her doorstep. Ilara's people instantly form a defensive circle around her, their makeshift weapons raised. My own warriors move to stand with me, growls ripping from their chests as they prepare for a battle we cannot win. But Ilara does not draw a weapon. She turns back, her eyes meeting mine for a fraction of a second. I see not fear, but a flash of furious anger. You brought this here? Then she closes her eyes. She takes a deep breath, and the air around her shimmers. She begins to sing. It is not one of the gentle songs I imagine she uses to heal or grow plants. This is a song of power. It is a chant, low and resonant, the words in a language I have never heard. It builds in volume, and as it does, the pale golden light I saw humming at the edge of the valley intensifies, surging from the ground to form a dome of solid light over her entire settlement. The first wave of shadow creatures slams into the barrier. They don't just stop. They recoil as if burned, screeching in frustration and pain. The dome holds. My warriors stare in awe. I stare at her. She stands at the center of it all, an anchor of power, her voice the only thing holding death at bay. The effort etches lines of strain on her face. This is costing her. Get your people inside the huts, she calls out to Liam, the kind-faced healer, who immediately begins herding the non-combatants to safety. Her eyes find me again, burning with intensity. Your warriors are a focal point for them, Kyle. Their aggression feeds the shadows. Tell them to stand down. To order my wolves to lower their weapons in the face of an enemy goes against every instinct I possess. But I see the logic in her command. I see the way the shadows surge and writhe with more energy wherever my warriors snarl and bare their teeth. I look at her, at the sweat beading on her brow, and I make a choice. I trust her. Stand down, I roar, my alpha command cutting through the din. Form a defensive line, but do not engage unless the barrier falls. My warriors hesitate, but they obey, their growls subsiding to low rumbles. The creatures continue to claw and push against the dome of light, But with my warriors' aggression banked, their frenzy lessens slightly. The barrier holds, but I can see it flickering in places. I can see the toll it is taking on Alara. Her voice is starting to waver. The siege lasts for hours, darkness falls, but the valley is lit by the ghostly gold of Alara's song. My men and her pack stand guard, a tense, unspoken alliance forged in the face of a common enemy. I find myself standing near her, a silent guardian. I want to offer my strength, to lend her my power, but I have no idea how. My power is for breaking things, for commanding and fighting. Hers is for building, for protecting. They are opposite forces. Finally, as the first hint of dawn touches the sky, the veiled ones retreat. Like a tide receding, the wave of darkness flows back over the hills and vanishes, leaving behind a profound silence. The dome of light dissolves. Alara's song fades into a whisper, and she sags, her legs giving out. The healer, Liam, is at her side in an instant, supporting her. He glares at me with open hostility before helping her toward one of the huts. I have endangered them all. I wait. I order my men to rest, to make themselves as small and unobtrusive as possible. I am a guest here, only by the grace of my enemy's attack, and I know my welcome is thin. Hours later, as the sun climbs higher, Ilara emerges from the hut. She looks exhausted, but her eyes are clear and hard. She walks directly to me. Liam follows a few paces behind, his hand resting near the hilt of a long knife. "They will be back," she says, her voice raspy. "They have your scent now, and they know this place is a sanctuary. You cannot stay here, but you cannot leave either. They will just follow you and draw them to attack your main camp." She has laid out the trap of our situation perfectly. We are forced together. An alliance is our only option. "We will fight them together," I say, my voice low. "Your power and my warrior's strength." "My power is defensive," she counters. "It is for protection, not annihilation. Your wolves only know how to attack, and their rage makes the shadows stronger. It is a useless combination." "Then teach us," I say, desperation sharpening my voice. "Teach us a new way. Teach me. I will do whatever you ask." She studies my face for a long time, her gaze searching and unreadable. I let her see everything I am feeling: the desperation, the exhaustion, the soul-deep regret. I hide nothing. "Fine," she says at last, her voice flat. "We will form an alliance, but it is on my terms. Your title means nothing here, Kal. In this valley, my word is law. You will obey me. Your warriors will obey me. Is that understood?" To be commanded by anyone, let alone an Omega I once threw away, is a wound to my pride. But my pride is what brought me to this ruin. I look at her, this queen of the broken, this woman I failed so completely, and I bow my head in a gesture of submission. "It is understood," I say. And for the first time since I took the throne, I am not the one in command. Later that night, after a tense meal shared in near silence between our two groups, she seeks me out. I am standing at the edge of the stream, watching the water flow over the smooth stones, the ache in my chest a constant companion. She stops a few feet away. The air between us is thick with unspoken history. "Why?" she asks, her voice quiet, all the hardness gone from it, leaving only a raw, painful curiosity. "I need to know why you did it, Kyle. Why did you reject me like that?" This is it, the moment of reckoning. I could give her the easy answers: the council's pressure, the need for a strong Luna. But she deserves more than that. She deserves the whole, ugly truth. I turned to face her, the moonlight catching the silver strands in her hair. Because I was a coward, I begin, and the confession feels like pulling a dagger from my own gut. My voice is low, raw. The moment I saw you, the moment the bond hit me, I was terrified. It was too much, a power I couldn't control. My entire life has been about control, Ilara. Controlling my wolf, my pack, my destiny. And you were this beautiful, impossible truth that threatened to undo all of it. I take a step closer, but stop when I see her flinch. My father taught me that a mate was a tool for the pack, a vessel for strong pups. He said emotion was a weakness an alpha could not afford. When I saw you, all I felt was emotion. And my counsel, they saw it. They saw how you affected me. They saw you as a vulnerability, a low-ranking omega with a quiet wolf. They said you would be a liability, a stain on my reign. I looked down at my hands, clenching them into fists, and I listened, because the king in me was stronger than the man, stronger than the wolf. I chose pride. I chose duty as I saw it. I chose the cold iron of the crown over the warmth of my own soul. And in front of everyone, I broke you to prove my strength. It was the most despicable, weakest thing I have ever done. My confession hangs in the air between us. I do not offer excuses. I do not ask for forgiveness. I simply give her the truth she asked for. The moment I said the words, I continue, my voice cracking, I felt it, the snap. And my wolf, he has not forgiven me, not for a single second. This last year has been a living hell, Ilara, a punishment of my own making. Every night he howls for you. Every day I live with the ghost of what I threw away. There is no one else. There never can be. I am broken without you. I know that now. She is silent for a long time, her arms wrapped around herself as if holding her own broken pieces together. I can smell the salt of unshed tears, but her face remains a stoic mask. It is Liam, the healer, who breaks the silence. He has approached without a sound, his expression protective and fierce. He stands slightly in front of Ilara, a shield between us. He is right about one thing, Singer, Liam says, his voice soft but firm, his eyes on her. This is a wound I cannot heal. He turns his gaze to me, and there is no hatred in it, only a sad resignation. I have seen the way the bond still pulls at you both. It is a ghost in this valley now. I could love you for a lifetime, he says, his voice dropping as he speaks to Ilara again, and I could not fill the space he carved out of you. And I will not be a placeholder. I will not be the safe choice you settle for because you are afraid to face the storm. He reaches out and gently touches her cheek. Your heart is not mine to claim, Ilara. It never was. Choose your own path. Choose the future that will make you whole, even if it is a future born from pain. He gives me one last, long look. Do not make her regret it a second time. With that, he turns and walks away, disappearing into the shadows of the huts, his scent of moss and earth fading into the night. He has just given her a gift I never could, the freedom of a choice with no strings attached. He has gracefully, painfully removed himself from the equation. Now it is just her and me, standing on opposite sides of a chasm of my own creation. The grovel has just begun, and I know words will never be enough to bridge this gap. The days that follow are a steady intention. We work together out of necessity, preparing for the inevitable return of the veiled ones. Under Ilara's direction, my warriors learn a new kind of discipline. She teaches them not to suppress their wolves, but to quiet them, to find a center of calm focus instead of aggressive rage. It is a difficult process, like teaching a storm how to be still. I submit myself to her training alongside my men, following her commands without question. Every yes singer that leaves my lips is both a surrender and an act of devotion. I watch her. I study the way she moves, the way she commands the respect of her small, loyal pack. I see the quiet moments when the mask slips, when a flicker of pain crosses her face as she catches my eye. The bond between us is a live wire, humming with a constant agonizing current. Sometimes, when we brush past each other, the spark of contact is so intense it feels like a physical shock, leaving my skin burning for hours. She feels it too. I see it in the way she flinches away, her jaw tight. I try to show her my change through actions, not words. I take the most difficult guard shifts. I help fortify the huts. I hunt for her pack, leaving the best kills at her doorstep without a word. An ancient, instinctual offering from a wolf to his mate. She never acknowledges the gestures, but the food is always taken. It is a small, fragile thread of communication in a vast ocean of silence. One evening, she is training a few of the younger members of her pack, teaching them to listen to the whispers of the land. I am standing guard nearby, my presence a silent, brooding shadow. A veiled one, a lone scout, materializes from the twilight shadows at the edge of the clearing. It moves with unnatural speed, not for the group, but for Ilara. It is targeting the source of the power. Before anyone can react, before her own guards can move, my wolf takes over. There is no thought, no strategy, only pure, primal instinct. Protect. Mate. I cross the distance in a handful of heartbeats, a blur of motion. I throw myself in front of her, shielding her body with my own, and meet the creature's attack head on. Its touch is ice and rot. A profound, soul-deep cold sinks into my shoulder where its smoky tendrils connect. It is not a physical blow, but a draining of life, of warmth. Pain, sharp and debilitating, radiates through me. But my only thought is that it did not touch her. I roar, not with the calculated rage of a warrior, but with the pure, unthinking fury of a male protecting his mate. I drive my shoulder forward, pushing the creature back, and my betas are on it in a second, their own controlled strength now focused and deadly. They dispatch it quickly. I stagger back, clutching my shoulder. The cold is spreading, a creeping numbness that makes my arm feel like a block of ice. Ilara rushes to my side, her cold facade shattered by alarm. Kale! Her use of my name is a shock. I'm fine, I grit out, but my teeth are chattering. The cold is reaching my chest. No, you're not, she says, her voice sharp with urgency. That was a reaper. Its touch is poison to a wolf's spirit. She grabs my arm, her touch sending a jolt of warmth through the spreading ice. Get him to my hut, now, she commands my warriors. They help me, half carrying me as my legs begin to fail. The world is starting to go gray at the edges. They lay me down on the soft furs inside her home. The space is filled with her scent, jasmine and ozone, and power. It should be heaven, but the Reaper's cold is pulling me under. Ilara kneels beside me, her expression a mixture of fury and fear. You reckless fool, she whispers, more to herself than to me. Why would you do that? It was coming for you? I manage to say, my words slurred. She closes her eyes for a moment, and when she opens them, the fury is gone, replaced by a reluctant resolve. This will hurt, she warns. She places both her hands on my chest, directly over my heart. The cold inside me recoils from her touch as if from a fire. Then, she begins to sing. Her voice is not a chant of power or a song of warding. It is a low, gentle lullaby, a melody of pure healing. It pours into me, a river of liquid gold, directly targeting the icy poison in my veins. The pain is immense. It feels like my very spirit is being torn between the reaper's cold and her song's warmth. I cry out, arching my back, my muscles seizing. Hold on, Kyle, she says, her voice steady, a lifeline in the storm of agony. Do not fight me. Let me in. I force myself to relax.